Hello and welcome to our first movie review. Ta-da! Today I thought I'd talk about Coco, the new Disney Pixar film. Now, I feel like Coco's been such a long time coming. We've been waiting for it, especially in England, for such a long time. It was out in October in other countries, yet it's taken until middle of January, late January even, for it to arrive over here. And I have to say, personally, I think it was definitely worth the wait. It's a weird time for Pixar. Normally Pixar's a kind of summer holiday release date time, so it's been a really long time coming, but it is definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it already. Now, just to say to those people who are now watching, this video will have spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet, please don't watch this because it will ruin it for you. Unless you like to know what happens, but most people don't. So this will have spoilers. Okay, I've picked a few main things. I'm not going to go through the whole story and everything. I thought I'd pick a few main things that were worth talking about. Firstly, how exciting is it that we finally have a Pixar film with songs? This is the first kind of almost borderline musical Pixar film. And the songs are really, really good and really, really catchy. There are only a few songs in the film, but they kind of repeat, especially the main one, Remember Me. And it's just such a lovely, it just adds a different element to your normal Pixar films. And I think it's really, really nice to have one that has got some key characters singing. Now, I'd say it was almost a musical because it's not your kind of film where, you know, Beauty and the Beast, you're walking down the street and everyone bursts into song. It's part of the story, so whether we would class it as a musical, I don't know. What do you think? I wouldn't say it was possibly, I don't think it's really a musical, but music is one of its key themes and I really love the songs. The next thing that was lovely about the film is the fact that it is a Mexican-based cultural film, which I think Disney and Pixar are going to find a lot they can do with. The cast all have a Mexican background, and so that makes the film seem even more authentic. The music, the colours, the animation is beyond beautiful. There are so many colours, which if you can see my room, well, you're seeing a little bit of my room, you can tell I like colours, so that went really down well with me. The whole thing is just done in a really, really nice way. The fact that it starts with kind of showing a background to the story through kind of flags and colourful bunting. It's just a really, really nice details. I think the story itself is incredibly relatable, from the fact that it's this little boy, Miguel, who has a real passion for something but feels his family want him to follow their footsteps and go into the family business. I think that's incredibly relatable for a lot of people. Now, the main theme of the whole thing is kind of losing people and obviously death. That is quite a raw nerve for a lot of people. I, for one, cried buckets. I know other people have, I've seen people's reactions. It is an incredibly moving film. So if you're going on a first date, I would question whether you want to. At the end, the lights came back on and I was almost like, don't look at me. I was a mess. I was sobbing. So it's such a nice film. You laugh, you cry. It's got everything you need in it, but it's very, very, very moving. The thing I guess that got me the most is you kind of meet the characters. Now, when I first heard of Coco and you saw some pictures and stuff and you saw Dante the dog in it, and I thought this was a film about dogs. It purely just went, oh right, we're getting a film, Pixar are doing a film about dogs. Then as more came out, I was like, okay, so it's not about dogs, obviously. Dante is a really cute character to have in it, a really good sidekick, and you can get really amazing plush in the Disney store. But the characters all have such an important role. Miguel is obviously the main character, he brings all the story together. I think Hector is fantastic because you kind of don't understand what or who, not what, but who he is and what role he's going to play. You kind of think he might be slightly dodgy at the start, and then you get to know him, and I don't want to give it all away, but like, oh, it is just so good. I love a Disney where you're not sure who the villain is. I think that's kind of, you know, you're Frozen, where you're all like, oh, Anna and Hans, and it's all nice, and then you realise, oh god, Hans is like evil. And I love that. I love the twist suddenly, and I love how we go through most of Coco thinking, I'm not sure. I thought maybe Hector was kind of trying to, I don't know, do something bad. I don't know why he wanted to get to the mortal world. I didn't know what was going on. And then it turns out in the end, again, spoiler, 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 please do not watch this if you haven't seen it. De La Cruz is actually the all-time villain. And the kind of villain that I think Disney are really portraying really well at the moment, which is the kind of villain where you're not like some kind of monster, you're not Hades, you're not Maleficent, you're just a really nasty person. Because that actually, though you don't want it to be relatable, it is relatable. There are people who are just not very nice people, and these are now our villains in our Disney films. I think it's really, really exciting. My thing most of all from this film was the actual title. I actually sobbed at the end when I realised why it was called Coco. When they introduced the little boy at the beginning and his name was Miguel, I was like, well, why is it called Coco? And then they introduced the dog called Dante, and you're like again going, well, what's it called Coco for? And it actually turns out the great grandma of Miguel is called Coco, and that changes the kind of whole way you see the film, because in a way it's all about her and getting her to see her parents again, because her parents have died. And I feel quite emotional even talking about it. It's just done in such a lovely way, and oh, I am quite tearful. Okay, stop. Oh, this is really silly. Okay, I don't know why this is happening. If you've ever lost, oh god, this is really bad. Okay, I need to finish this video. If you've ever lost someone, and unfortunately, oh, I'm really not doing this very well. I knew this could be hard. Oh, breathe, woman. Okay, if you've ever lost someone, and I've unfortunately lost a few people quite recently, it has a really nice way of thinking about how you can be together when life ends, and kind of keeping, I don't know, it's quite hopeful, it's just really nice. It's obviously too much for me right now. If you haven't seen it, Disney, you've done this. Like, how does an animation, a drawing, has made me just talking about it start sobbing? How ridiculous is that? And how embarrassing. I'm really sorry. I wasn't expecting to cry in this video. But there you go. Some things can't be held back. If you haven't seen it, please do go see it. Disney, Pixar, honestly, I think since Up you cry within the first like 5 minutes of the film. This one is it's just so moving, everything, but done in a really, I think it could, death is in everyone's life, no one can avoid it, and it could be done in a completely like, I don't know, insensitive or doesn't work for people way, but this way it was quite beautiful. It's moving and it makes you think about your own life. Right, well, pull myself together. Disney, thank you for creating this mess, because I only cry, well, I cry a lot actually, I'm a very emotional person, but I think a film or anything that is able to move you to such an extent is magical. I think Coco was I have to say Pixar's had a bit of a dry spell. Dory was good, Finding Dory was good, but I think we've had a bit of a while with Pixar films that have been okay. And Coco's come out, and Coco has brought Pixar back to the front of everything. I think it is a fantastic film. Please go watch it. Look in the Disney store for the merch. I'm hoping there's more and more, because it's such a beautiful thing. And basically, if you haven't gone to see it, go see it. It's really worth it. Thank you for watching. I am so sorry for crying. I have no idea. I did not expect that. I hope this video, I have no idea what my face is doing now. Like, I hope this review was okay. I've not done a review. I didn't really know what to talk about. I had a brief idea and then I cried. So, life is weird. But we've been to see a few films recently. 2018 film-wise is going really well so far, so if you do like the review, please comment below, please like, subscribe, and hopefully we'll see some more film reviews in the future. Thank you for watching, bye!